So Steps to Work.
Yeah.
Tell us about that organisation.
Steps to Work is over 20 years old. It's a £20 million plus organisation. Steps to Work helps long-term unemployed people into meaningful and engaging employment. We are tens of thousands into that. Depends how you carve the figures up, but we're sort of 40,000 people that have gone through our hands that are going into sustainable work or support through that. Okay. Historically, we would just take them from referral from, there used to be the Dole office, but by DWP now, various different referrals, and try and support them, shape them, and give them some purpose, maybe some skills and things like that. Now, we've got our own recruitment company. It's a starting point recruitment. That's netting about £14 million turnover. Wow. 100% of that profit goes back into the charity, which goes into good causes. Right. We've got Coltrane, which Circle of Life training, which trains people, and 100% of that profit goes back into the group. So everything we do, 100% of it from these limited trading entities goes back into charity, which goes into good causes.
So Steps to Work, just Midlands based, or?
We're pretty much Midlands based, but we're reaching out further and further. As I'm chair, we will go wider and wider and wider. Yeah. We won't just deal with DWP projects. We're shaping things up ourselves. Yeah. We've donated over £800,000 this year. Yep. To back into society, into good cause and everything else like that. So a percentage of our profit goes back into communities, and we're using a percentage of that money for our own endeavours and to support our endeavours. So we've got things like a pantry, which is a food bank that we set up in the Black Country. We're supporting people.
So how do you get your money? How do you get your income?
Where do I earn my living?
No. How does Steps to Work generate their money that they can then reinvest? As a charitable organisation, where does that funds come from?
It's the trading arms. So the Steps to Work that owns Starting Point Recruitment, Coltrane, and organisations like that.
So let's be clear that it's not the government.
No. Yep. But we do deliver some government DWP projects, but what we do is we make a profit. Yep. We work very lean. We run lean. We run sharp. We know exactly what we're doing, and we'll put a profit out of these projects. Might be small, but it's continual profit.
All of it then reinvested.
Yeah. So this year it was 800,000. It's my intention next year that's going to be close to 2 million. That'll go back into communities and things like that.
Okay. So a number of projects, a number of initiatives. Yeah. And all aimed at long-term unemployment. Yeah. Getting people either trained, educated, upskilling. Yeah. Getting them confident, personality, their profiling, their presence, and getting them ready to get back into the workplace.
Yeah. I think we've lost role models. So when I go back to my earlier days about mum and dad constantly working, dad had 2 jobs, I think mum had 3 jobs. It's that role model. Because we're second and third generation when some haven't worked, there's no role models there, so it's changing that mindset. It's the ability and the skill and the appetite to want to work, and that's what we need to focus on. So I'm not now, I'm 3 generations time. So give parents the skills now for the children to follow, for the great-grandchildren to be benefiting from that point.
Yeah. And because of the pandemic, we've changed the way we work and we look at work now, haven't we? And obviously there's this work from home. So would that help? Would that help some of your people?
I personally have a mindset, have an issue with, if you look at the unemployed, 50% of the unemployed people in this country, now listen to this fact, either have a disability or care for somebody with a disability. That's a workforce, it's an inactive workforce. Some of those can't work in traditional jobs. Working from home, of course they can. There's administrative, there's entrepreneurial flair, they can run their own businesses and things like that. So there's a lot of things that we can help them and support them. Let's stop thinking that employment starts at 9 and finishes at 5, Monday to Friday. Let's support all of this. Work at, stay-at-home mums that are now in that financial pivoting point when they have 2 children. It's beneficial to stay at home. They're skilled, engaging people. They can pick up there. They can work.
Absolutely.
Mobilise that workforce.
100%. 100%. Okay, well, that's fabulous. And I mean, again, I think that it's great to hear and understand Steps to Work. Personally, I've heard the name an awful lot, but it's great to understand the detail of it, And I think it's important also for people to know and viewers to understand that, you're a charity that has to raise its own money. We help and do a lot of work with the air ambulance in Cornwall. You know, that's another organisation who desperately need help. They desperately need funds, you know, to carry out some fantastic work across the community. And I see Steps to Work in exactly the same role.
Well, we engage with the air ambulance. So what we've got, how I see Steps to Work looks at, it's an overarching charity. So we've got 150, 160 employees. Wow. So we've got a PR, a marketing team, we've got a graphics team, we've got a finance team, we've got a HR team, and everything like that. Yeah. Why does every other charity need to have all of those functions? Yeah. We'll run your payroll for you. We'll do your marketing for you. So part of our CSR might not just be giving you funds and money, might be giving you strategic support around that. Yeah. And that's what we do. So Midlands Air Ambulance, we're engaging with them and we're supporting them. I have no idea how many charities we're supporting, but I would say it's probably 20 plus.
Clever. So you can take away some of that administrative burden.
Absolutely.
And it is a burden and it's an administrative cost.
Yep. Pull these charities together, overarching charities, supporting charities, making all of them more efficient.
Yeah, and do you know the other thing I see there is, Paul, that's really beneficial is you're getting these organisations then to communicate and work together. Yeah, because often you're working in isolation, thinking you're doing the right thing and you're helping to the best of your ability. But actually, if you come together as 3 or 4 organisations, you can be that much more powerful and make that much more difference in the community.
We're looking supporting bids, so putting charities together to deliver bids. Yeah. So stop them working in isolation. You know, get out of the silo mentality, collaboration, cooperate with each other, and go forward to do that. We're doing that with a combined authority with a number of different opportunities, charitable, deliverable partners. Yep. You know, we've got a training arm. We can deliver that particularly well. But we might be able to do training for other charities. We might be able to in-house training, upskill staff, but also deliver for those. Yeah. Classic example that I'm looking at is Acorns. I'm Vice President of Acorns, hugely passionate of Acorns. Wonderful charity doing some amazing things, but they shouldn't be there. That's an organisation that shouldn't be there. It's failings in the NHS, failings in society that are there. The NHS should be dealing with this. Again, probably another podcast, but...
Yeah, so tell the viewers a little bit more about Acorns then and their role.
So Acorns Children's Hospice has 3 hospices in the Midlands, which is Black Country, Walsall, Birmingham and Worcester. Yep. And they support children with life-limiting or life-threatening diseases, you know, and ailments. And they support them. They give virtual, you know, they give, amazing support of families. Some children have complex needs that need to be supported 24 hours. Yeah. So there needs to be somebody standing next to that child 24 hours a day. Yeah. Absolutely exhausting for families. But if they can bring their child in to one of the hospices and have a day or 2, 3 or 4 days off that's rest, they can get themselves together and off like that. Maybe give support to each other and for the siblings and things like that. Sure. They do that, and then obviously they'll guide some children and support them through end of life, which is one of the things that Acorns does particularly well. And it's just concerning that, you know, it's an hospice that needs to deliver that when the NHS should be doing it. Yeah. So our hope is that Acorns continues to do its good work, but hopefully phase itself out in the future because it's not needed. Yeah. But Acorns, as I said, Steps to Work might be doing some of the training, you know, supporting staff, some of the opportunities around that, but also working with the families, fathers, mothers, you know, may have lost their jobs, may need part-time engagement and things like that. So some of the activities we can get up to might be able to support them, bring other revenue in.
Like it. I like it. Smart. And I think for anybody who's listening and watching this today, think about how we can bring that together. And as you say, you know, within your organisation of Steps to Work, how you can help other organisations, you know, outsource, save money, become more efficient, collaborate better together.